Welcome to Block 3 of the EQ7 Jumpstart Sew-Along. This time we're going to take a look at the block worktable and save a new variation of a block. Open EQ7 and then click on the Open an Existing Project tab in the Project Helper window. Find your Jumpstart Sew-Along project and click on it to select it, then click the OK button. The sketchbook will appear. Click on Quilts on the left side and notice that down here it says Quilt 1 of 2 quilts. That's because we've saved 2 versions of the Jumpstart quilt so far, one for each of the 2 lessons we've completed. Use the scroll bar to move to the second quilt, it's the one with 2 blocks in it, and click the Edit button. The quilt is now on the Quilt Worktable. The Quilt Worktable is just one of 3 worktables available in EQ7. Now we're going to create a new variation of a block in the sketchbook by editing it to the Block Worktable. Click on the View Sketchbook button on the project toolbar, and then click on the Block section on the left. Click on the Twin Star block to select it, and then click the Edit button. The block is now on the Block Worktable. There are 4 drawing styles available on the Block Worktable. This block edits to the Easy Draw worktable, and you can see that based on the tabs at the bottom of the screen. An Easy Draw block indicates that it's a piece block drawn using straight and/or curved lines. We'll be adding and deleting lines from this block to create something new. On the left toolbar, click on the Line tool. Now when you draw an Easy Draw, you click at the starting point of the line and hold down the mouse button as you drag your cursor to the end point of the line, and then you release the mouse button. And I'll show you how that works in just a minute. We're going to create half square triangles in all 4 corners of the block. So starting with your cursor at the 2-inch mark on the left side of the block, click and hold down your mouse button as you drag up to the 2-inch mark on the top edge of the block, and then release your mouse button, and there you've drawn your first line. Now we're going to do the same thing in the other 3 corners. So on the top edge, click, hold, and drag to the right edge and release. Then come down to the next corner, click, hold, drag, and release. And for the last one, click, hold, and drag, release. There, we've got our 3 other corners filled with half square triangles. Now we're going to delete some lines from this block. On the left toolbar, click the Pick tool, and then come down here and click on this line that makes up the top of the center square. And you can tell that it's selected by these little boxes that are surrounding the line, and there's also this crosshair here in the center. So now that it's selected, we can hit the Delete key on our keyboard, and the line will disappear. Now we're going to delete the other 3 lines of that center square. So click on it to select it, and then hit the Delete key on your keyboard. Click to select, Delete key, click to select, and Delete key. That's all the drawing and deleting that we're going to do with this block. So now come down to the bottom of the screen and click the Color tab. And now we can use the paintbrush tool to color our block. At this point, I'm just going to color my block with solid colors because I like to wait till I set the block in the quilt to color with fabrics, but that's totally up to you. And once the block is colored, click the Add to Sketchbook button. The new block is now in the sketchbook and we can add it to our quilt design. So come over here to the right and click on the Work on Quilt button. Now we're switched back to the Quilt Worktable. You can also switch worktables by using the Worktable option on the menu bar and choosing Work on Quilt that way. Now come over to here to the right and click on the Set Block tool. The blocks palette will appear, and you'll now see that we have 5 blocks in our palette. The 4 we originally copied from the block library, and the new variation that we just created on the Block Worktable. So click on that new variation to select it, Remember how we always talk about the blue outline around things to know they're selected, and then click on the top right block space to pop the block into place. Now we can use the paintbrush and spray can tools to color with fabrics. I like waiting to color the block with fabrics when I'm on the quilt work table so I can see how all the blocks work together. When you're happy with your coloring choices, click the Add to Sketchbook button to save the in-progress quilt. On the right toolbar, click the Select tool, then click on the Twin Star Variation block to select it. Remember to look for the green outline. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to print the foundation pattern. Of course, if you prefer to piece the block a different way, feel free to use those print styles instead. So, on the Project toolbar, click the Print button, and then choose Foundation Pattern from the drop-down menu. The Print dialog box appears with the Sections tab selected. The blue lines around the patches indicate the sections. The sectioning for this block looks good, but if you'd like to change it, you can click the Start Over button, and then click on the patches you'd like grouped together, and then click the Group button. Let's switch over to the Numbering tab here at the top. And here I'm happy with the way the block is numbered too. But if you'd like to change it, click the Change Numbers button here, and then click on the patches in the order you'd like them numbered. Now let's click the Options tab. Remember that in EQ7, we're working with finished sizes, which means the final size of the block after all of the seams have been sewn. EQ7 adds the seam allowance for you when you print the patterns. The block size we set on the Layout tab back in the first lesson, which was 9 inches by 9 inches, is automatically selected for us. If you'd like to change that, you can click the Custom Block Size button here and then type in a new size. Put check marks next to whichever options you'd like in the Options section here. Make sure that you leave Print as Many as Fit unchecked here if you'd like to be able to move the foundation sections on the print preview, which I'll show you in the next step. Go ahead and click the Preview button. And on the print preview, you may find that some of the foundation sections are spread across 2 pages. We can fix that. Click the Move button at the top, and then click on one of the sections to drag it to a new area. I'm going to play around with these a little bit and try to get them all to fit nicely so they're not across 2 pages. Now I can click the Print button at the top and print my patterns. Or if you're not quite ready to print now, you can click the Close button and then close again to return to the quilt work table. Now click the Save button and close EQ7. I'll meet you back at the blog on Friday, June 13th to share our sewn blocks.